You're listening to Empire of Rust, the world's first and only Transformers RPG podcast. Join the fight as Carapace, Rex, Magnum, Wildstrike, and Sweet Spot fight their way through Iacon's underworld against criminal empires and a movement determined to bring an end to the Cybertronian Confederation.
Welcome back to Empire of Rust. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mike. I play Wildstrike on the podcast. In the last episode, Carapace and Wildstrike visited the Energon Hole Maccadams. We met Blur and an old war buddy of Wildstrike's there. We also mentioned non-lethal damage. If you're not familiar with that term, it's just what it sounds like. Damage that isn't lethal. In game terms, though, it works like normal damage, reducing stamina or hit points. The difference is when non-lethal damage drops you to 0 or fewer hit points, you're only knocked unconscious and not dying. Episode 4 is coming up. Again, thank you for listening. Questions, comments, suggestions can be sent to us via email at rust@transmissionspodcast.com or on our Discord channel on the Transmissions Podcast Discord server. Thank you.
Welcome to Episode 4 of Empire of Rust, the world's first and only Transformers RPG podcast. When last we left, Sweet Spot was just about to go into Maccadam's new oil house, home of his, hopefully, friend, Blur. Sweet Spot, this is a wonderful day for you, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, ever since I heard about this guy, Blur, who actually came to Velocitron and won one of the big races, not being a Velocitron himself, being, someone from Cybertron, I actually had to come down here and meet him. Sometime soon. I was hoping it would be sooner, but it's later. That's okay. Been busy.
Carapace and Wildstrike got here first, though. Meeting your idol. Meeting your friend.
They weren't as useful to the job that we were doing. Checking things out on the computer. Important stuff. Part of the investigation. Maybe they were doing some investigating of their own. Maybe they were just sitting here drinking. Who knows?
I'm willing to bet they were just drinking.
I would not take that bet. That's a sucker bet.
It's all up to you now. You're at the front door of Maccadam's.
I was holding it open for Magnum, so you can head on in before me, because apparently that's the thing going on around here. Everyone gets here before me. Go right ahead. Go on in. Everyone else has.
Don't mind if I do.
Does the person who wins the Velocitronian race effectively become ruler of the world? So did Blur kind of come in and be like, oh, I took over and now I quit?
No, there are different things. Okay. Like if you want to run for office, that's a specific race.
And that's not the one he won.
I don't believe so.
He won the I'm just fastest.
Yeah, it's more like a popular race.
He won the Speedia 500.
Yep, Speedia 500. That's the one.
So where is the entrance?
This is the main entrance that you guys are at. And if you remember from last time, you noticed 2 bots leaving through a back door. And I believe, Sweet Spot, you got a image of them or recorded them leaving. You didn't go to stop them or anything, but you do have a visual record of them.
Nope, didn't want to interfere, but I'll probably bring that up to the others once we're inside and a few drinks in.
So, Sweet Spot, what are you going to do?
Head on in, take a look around. Looks like a nice place. Pretty fancy. Like the decorations. Oh, the music's all right, too. Let's head on up to the bar. Who's that? It's going to be Blur.
Both of you, both Sweet Spot and Magnum, can make perception checks.
All right. For perception, Sweet Spot, where is it? It's under P. Perception. There we go. It's going to be 22. That's right.
22 as well.
Both of you are equally observant in this chaotic scene.
That's our first.
Whatever you need to tell yourself, pal.
So the two of you notice a number of bots in this bar. First thing is you notice the bartender. He is moving very, very fast, so fast that he is leaving after images behind wherever he is. So all you're seeing is a blur.
Isn't that interesting?
Over on the booths, though, you notice a couple of little odd things here and there. The people who are sitting at the booths they seem like paired designs. So the designs of each of the bots look very similar to each other. So each pairing has similar color schemes or similar design features. Over on the opposite side of the building, there is a stage with a number of bots making some music. There is a white bot that has some wheels, looks like a car, and there is a floating shark reciting poetry to the beat of the music.
Well, there's something I never thought I'd see. It's okay if I see it again. I don't mind it. Sounds pretty good, too.
Beatniks. Amphibious beatniks, even worse.
Floating amphibious beatniks. Is that even worse than that?
It's gotta be. It's all downhill from here.
Or up in the air, as it seems. Anyway, I'm happy to be here. First round's on me. What do you like?
Have a gin and tonic.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but we'll lower it. See if the bartender knows. Blur?
Hey, what can I get you? What are you having? What are you drinking?
Hey, how you doing? My name's Sweet Spot. This here is Magnum. These other two over here are my friends Wildstrike and Carapace, although they're already here, so I suppose you already met them.
Of course I did. I had a conversation with them, got them drinks, and nearly threw the big one out.
Pretty big fan of you. I heard that you won a race, the Speedy 500, on Velocitron. I want to order some oil special drink for myself, and a gin and tonic, as it were, for my friend here, Magnum.
A gin and tonic? We don't serve that here. That's a biological drink. You won't find anything like that around here. What else can I get you?
Just give me straight whiskey then.
Straight whiskey, then.
Whiskey? That's another biological. Is your friend a Cybertronian? He looks confused. Can he even drink organics?
Listen, pal, you can't trust a bar that doesn't serve decent whiskey. What's the deal, bub? What are you really running here?
I don't know what kind of planet you come from, but in here we serve Energon, Enjex, Provax, Silver Oil, Black Nucleon, Red Nucleon, and the always popular Nightmare Fuel. Now, do you want something strong, or a little baby protoform drink?
Give me a strong drink. Whatever you got. Orange juice, is that what you have?
And you, my friend Sweet Spot, what are you having? Something strong to clear out your intakes, or something light to look pretty on the bar?
I'll take a medium drink. I'm not racing anywhere tonight.
Shakes up a couple more drinks. He puts a tankard of something that looks vicious in front of Magnum.
Ooh.
And he puts something sparkling in front of Sweet Spot.
Oh, how delightful.
Did they literally just make the same order?
Anyway.
You guys gonna take your drinks?
Your drink is very pretty.
Thank you very much. I'll take a drink of it.
Goes down smooth.
All right.
I'll have a sip and look around the room.
That, my friend, is a very good drink.
I will,
You're gonna have a sip?
just a sip.
Give me a fortitude save.
7.
Since you only took a sip, you take 1 point of non-lethal damage.
Anyway, boy, just wanted to shake your hand.
He shakes your hand.
I'll extend it out of his hand, shake it vigorously.
Up and down about 500 times.
500 times? Oh, that's pretty good. Count of the two. I'm actually in office back on Velocitron. You know, just minor low-level stuff. I'm looking to advance my political career. That's why I'm serving the council right now. That's why we're here. We actually came by from the council. Got some questions for you. Something to do with the bombings from yesterday. I'm sure these two have already started off their questions, so I let them finish them off. Just want to say that to you. Big fan.
I think he's a fan of yours, but I'm not sure.
You guys never told me that. You two are from the council.
No, we didn't.
And I wasn't expecting to either. But apparently we are.
My friend Windblade came in earlier today telling me that the council had sent some investigators to deal with the bombings. That's you four?
That would be us.
Actually, it's us 5. Actually, it's more than that. But right now, it's just us 4.
I have no idea who these people are.
That hurts, man. That hurts me deep.
He'll do the typical bartender thing where he takes a glass and attempts to clean it while talking to you guys.
Does the glass start to heat up?
Of course it does, because he's doing it super speed.
It just melts down to a shot glass.
I'll take a few steps back.
Before you guys start asking questions, are all 4 of you going to stay up at the bar? Are any of you going to get a seat somewhere?
I'm gonna assess the room. This is a little more upscale, isn't it? Less likely to find the scum of the earth here.
This is a very trendy place, partly because of the name Maccadam's, because it has such a history to it, and partly because it's run by Blur, who's a famous racer in his own right.
Does this ever close?
No, not especially.
Like, is he here 24 hours a day?
Well, he'll have other staff as well. So at the moment, he's the one tending the bar, but as time goes on, there'll be other bartenders who come in and other servers who come in as well. So you're seeing just Blur behind the bar, but I imagine that you would see the occasional server bot kind of taking drinks to tables as well.
Last thing we need is a legitimate establishment. I'll look around the room for now.
I can hear them.
Okay, you can make a culture check.
Can I do a PI check to see who might be shifty? That is a 13. Checking for shifty characters, if I would even expect anyone shifty to be in here, to see if anyone might be talking about something that they don't want other people to hear.
Yeah, no one looks shifty or anything. Everyone seems to be on the up and up. They seem to be just going there to enjoy themselves and to have a good time.
Alright, I'll just light a cigarette and listen. I had to get special attachment to be able to
Inhale.
It just cycles through. That's all it does. And Sweet Spot, are you continuing your conversation with Blur?
Nope. I think it'd be better if these two carry on the conversation with him as far as the questions go, so that everyone can keep up.
I mean, I think you're our professional talker.
Yeah, and you basically just walked in and announced that we're the Fuzz, so, I mean... we're going to have a conversation about that later.
Well, was I not supposed to say that?
Frankly, I don't think it matters in here. It's probably an advantage in this particular place. Looks pretty up and up. A little too up and up.
Yeah, this is a place to get drinks, not information. That drink had a kick to it, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
I think what my friend meant to say is, do you know anything about the bombings? You ever hear anything about that?
All people talk about today. I wish they'd talk about something else. It's getting kind of boring.
Anything interesting?
Cybertron First is claiming responsibility for it, but that's just what they say. I wouldn't believe anything they say. And you shouldn't either. You can't trust them. Not at all.
You don't know anything about them?
Bad bots, the worst bots, the lowest of the low. Autobots and Decepticons that just can't let the war go. We fought against tyranny, fought to keep all bots safe. And this is the result? No. These are bots that think they're better than the rest. Nothing else, nothing more. And they are not welcome here. Not in my bar. Some of my best patrons here are colonists. Take Chromia over here.
You can make a culture or life science check to see anything, see if you can figure out anything about her.
Was it all of us?
Anyone at the bar.
If he's pointing her out, I'm going to check. But I ain't got much. I got a 10 on culture.
7.
23 for culture.
You know you've heard the name before, and as you kind of think back to some of the news reports you've heard, you realize that Chromia is Windblade's bodyguard.
Windblade is one of the council members, right?
One of the counselors from Cheminus.
The one who openly displays a badge.
Pythagoras is a Camion, so he would probably be familiar with him anyway. Or she. Windblade.
She.
Well, I'll think about that.
And with Carapace and Sweet Spot, you rolled a bit too low to really get anything. So Pythagoras knows about this, but hasn't communicated with anyone else. So far, Pythagoras has all the information.
Well, he'll tell Magnum, but
And
Magnum's
is sharing none of it.
Magnum's not going to share it there than any of them right now either. He's sort of disgusted.
I think we're still on the suspect list. You definitely are.
I don't know. He's displaying his badge openly, you know? You gotta respect that a little bit, you know?
He's got grit, is that what you're saying?
Blur's been an Autobot for a very long time, since before the war started. So he is a fairly old Cybertronian and one of the more famous ones. So Blur will continue.
I have a lot of bots coming in here. I'm sure some of them have ties to Cybertron First. It's impossible to say for sure, but no bot will openly claim that. I would never allow them in here, especially because we have colonists and neutrals who frequent my establishment.
You don't have anything that would prove anyone to be part of the Cybertron First movement, but do you have anyone that you would recognize as, bots that you would suspect are, from what they say, from what, who they hang out with?
Make a sense motive.
All right, sense motive for Sweet Spot. I get a 21.
You barely noticed because this happens so quickly. I think only a Velocitronian would be able to pick up on this.
That's right.
His head and eyes kind of turn back towards the back corner seat. It's empty at the moment.
Which is where his Decepticon buddies
Yeah,
were.
where the two.
Over here.
So yeah, almost imperceptibly, his head turns back and kind of looks towards the back corner, one of the booths that is in the rear of the building.
I have no proof anyone's a member, and I don't want to accuse anyone. There are so many bots here, former Autobots, former Decepticons, neutrals, colonists, and their motivations are varied and different. What's normal for one bot isn't normal for other bots. I don't want to assume that someone is a member without just cause.
So you're willing to wait for another bombing because you don't want to be impolite to any of your patrons?
My patrons are the reason I do this. Insulting my patrons, whether they're Autobots or Decepticons, is not good for my reputation.
Or colonists?
Or colonists or neutrals, of course.
Not good withholding iteration, though. Especially if we can prevent another tragedy. Is that really helping anyone?
Do you know how many atrocities the Decepticons have done? If I turned away all the bad bots, I would have no business.
No, that's not what I'm implying. I think you can deal with a few more bad people in here. But if you know the people around, and you have any slightly inkling of anyone who might be involved, now's the time to say it. Or else you're culpable. Remember that. Hey, if they're clean, then we'll leave them alone.
Make a diplomacy check? No. Make an intimidate check.
More intimidate, I would say.
Because that was more intimidate.
And I was like, ooh, do you feel this guilt shot? Bam! Even Blur didn't see that one coming.
He's got a conscience. He's vulnerable.
Wow. That's a terrible statement right there.
17.
He leans in close to you, Magnum, and he points at 2 bots behind you.
If anyone here knows about where to find them or who's a member, it'd be those 2 bots back there.
Sense motive?
Did I hear that?
Make a perception check, because he did lean in to
Yep.
kind of talk to him privately.
Perception? That'd be 18.
You heard it?
15?
You get the sense that he's being truthful. He's pointing to 2 red bots. Both of them have similar designs. Both of them are sporting Autobot symbols. If you want to make a culture check to try and identify them and see if you recognize them, you are welcome to.
30.
They were born on...
Yeah, you recognize them. I imagine as you were probably looking through some of the records like over the last day, maybe you kind of came across like their pictures and names as you were researching. Their names are Fastlane and Cloudraker.
I'll say to Blur.
Thank you for your help, sir. You may have saved lives. It didn't come from you. Don't worry.
Of course it didn't come from me. People talk to me. I can't have them thinking I'm going to run to security when they talk. They wouldn't trust me, so keep it to yourself.
And he'll go back to cleaning his glass at super speed.
Another drink, please. The one that kicks.
The nightmare fuel?
Oh, yeah. Are you going to drink that?
Yes.
You're gonna finish your nightmare fuel there, Magnum?
Eventually. He can keep this glass going for a while. They're probably lucky that there's actually alcohol in this stuff because it would ignite every time you tried to serve it.
Blur, I have a little bit of footage I want to show you. Some bots leaving your establishment. You can just tell me yes or no if you think that they might possibly be connected to the Cybertron First movement. Let me send it to you. Can I get your comlink number?
I don't give out my comlink number to anyone, not since Stalkertron.
All right, I'll show you mine. So I hold it in such a way that maybe these bots can't see it, but I don't care if they do because I was going to share it with you guys anyway.
I'm going to watch Blur, his reaction.
Aha. I show them the shifty guys that were leaving his establishment and kind of looking up and down the alleyway.
When you show this to him, make a perception check.
Shabang. Ooh, that is a nice perception check. That would be a 24.
And Magnum, you said you were watching him? Other two, are you watching him as well?
I mean, I'm more watching the thing.
Yeah.
You can watch that later.
Magnum, go ahead and make a perception check.
Like, I'm trying to listen to the shark, but I'm also, like, watching his thing.
The thing is the 2 Decepticons, right? The ones that I was talking to?
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause that's why I've been waiting for, like, the moment to be like, hey, it was those 2 guys that were in the back corner, and then he's gonna go, oh!
I only got 9 for some perception.
You do not notice it because it is too fast for you. You are not a Velocitronian,
So
but
that
you...
probably negates any sense motive I could do, too.
But Sweet Spot, you are a Velocitronian, and you are able to keep up with Blur's movements. Very, very nice. And as you show him that image, his head imperceptibly darts back to that back corner booth that you saw him eyeing before. And as Wildstrike and Carapace are looking at the image that Sweet Spot is showing, you both recognize that it was those 2 Decepticons that Wildstrike had spoken to towards the back of the bar.
Hey. Was that those 2 guys you were talking to in the corner before?
Yep.
I'm helping.
Yes, you are.
Carapace, you're an invaluable member of the team.
Thank you.
Now, you, Sweet Spot, you had asked, you were asking Blur something? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was asking him if the bots I show him, if he thinks that they might be connected to or part of the Cybertron First movement. Just a yes or no. Just his opinion.
I don't know, but if anyone in here were to be a member, they are good candidates.
All right. Thank you for your cooperation.
Sense motive? That's the wrong sheet. I want to know he's biased against Decepticons. 24.
You do get the sense that he's certainly... He might not be prejudiced against Decepticons, but you do get the sense that he's going to assume Decepticons are trouble first, before Autobots, or before neutrals, or before colonists. Likely just part of his history with the war.
Well, it's understandable, but doesn't that define prejudice? I mean, he is prejudiced to a degree, you know, for good reason, but...
But with that sense motive, you do believe that he is telling you the truth, that if anyone in the building was, it would have been those two that left. Whether or not his prejudice is correct, completely different story.
Yeah.
And this one.
Wildstrike, your former colleague there was just accused of being a possible member. What are your thoughts on this?
That's why I went up to him earlier to ask about it. I figured if anybody might be a member or know of them, he might.
I already know.
So I'm going to...
Oh, you already talked to them?
I'm not saying that out loud.
Oh.
I'm going to a booth, and then over the comm, say, everybody come here, because I don't want to project it out into the bar.
You went to the same booth they were at?
Yeah.
So both of you are going there. Carapace, are you staying in the bar?
No, we'll go with him. I'm technically part of the party, even though I'm useless in these circumstances.
There's enough room for 4 people, so Magnum, you can join if you want, or you can continue walking around.
He'll leave a five on the counter.
A human $5 bill.
Well, he made them.
So
it's a carpet.
He just wrote 5 on something.
It's a big piece of paper with some 5 written in crayon.
You make your own money. It's amazing.
And your own crayons.
And illegal.
All right, now that we're all gathered here, I'll tell everybody. When I first walked in, I noticed a couple Decepticons in the corner there.
Were these the Decepticons?
Yes.
Okay.
I went up there and I noticed one of them is a former friend of mine from the wars. He was well known for...
Explosives?
His kills.
Okay.
So I figured if anybody would be a member or know somebody about this movement, he might. So I questioned him about it. He didn't seem to know anything.
What do you think he did?
He seemed a little interested. So we had a mutual agreement that if we learned more information, we would contact each other.
More information about what?
About this movement, how to join it, members, things like that.
Okay.
So I don't know if he will be watching me, if he's an actual member or not, but I just want to put that out there that my plan here is this might be a way into that movement, or at least know somebody in that movement.
So you're planning to betray us?
You don't want to be associated
find
with...
the movement.
And then betray us?
No.
Okay.
What were you saying?
So you actually don't want to be associated with the council in this investigation?
I'd say for now, yes. If this has any chance of working.
Don't worry.
It would be best if I'm
I'll
not.
bump you up the pole position.
Thank you.
You might not want to introduce us as the council members to everyone you meet.
Oh, sorry. Got a little ahead of myself.
Tends to put
thing I do.
people on their guard.
I'm not used to hiding my identity. Quite proud of it. And my connections. And all of you fine bots that you are.
Oh, that's fine, but in this case, you might want to.
You're warming the cockles of my heart.
No problem. I can keep quiet if I need to. Don't need to say a word. Not one, or two, or many.
Cockles are behind the carburetor?
Cockles are not part of the engine at all. Not according to my mechanic.
I think they have something to do with Christmas ornaments.
What's Christmas?
Some sort of celebration involving organic sticks and small, bright, sparkly things. It's all a little confusing.
Sounds fun. Maybe we should try that sometime.
In exchanging poorly constructed boxes made out of compressed paper products.
That sounds really weird.
Impractical, actually.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you want to make out of paper?
Make a computers check, whoever wants to.
Why not?
I want to, but I don't have the skill. Can I still make it?
Go for it.
I could, but I didn't have the roll.
Natural 20! So I got a 10.
Nice.
Natural 1. So I got a...
If this is mental, it's 17.
Each booth has a little data terminal kind of on the wall attached to it, so you can access any information, access the network, and do any kind of the common computer functions. But you notice that the data terminal was recently activated. Since Wildstrike and Carapace, since you know that no one has sat at this table since those two had left, you would imagine that those two had activated it last.
Is there a message for him? That'd be cool. Message for?
You're gonna have to try and activate it and see what's happening.
I'm going to take my shotgun microphone, which is the only tech equipment I have, And as I'm sitting here, aim it toward these guys. Inconspicuously.
Make a stealth check.
Sure. What's that? Nope. I know what that is.
That's when you don't want to be noticed.
I rolled a 20, have a +8 modifier. 28.
Oh, because you're speedy.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm quick. Oh, they're looking. I put it away.
It's a quantum microphone. Are they looking at it? It doesn't exist.
You crush that stealth check, and they have no idea that you are listening in on their conversation.
And recording for posterity.
That might be illegal.
Zoom? I'm a politician. I'll make it legal later.
Legal schmeagle.
He was diplomatic immunity.
That's just a technicality anyway. Do they want us to catch the crooks or not? You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. Whatever eggs are.
Or omelets.
Flat things, if I remember.
You have a lot of anachronistic data.
Anachronistic? I would call it archaic.
I would call it useless.
Well,
I don't know what that word means. Not useless. I know that word. Anachronistic.
he knows human culture better
Oh,
than
I
he
know.
knows his own,
I
even if he
just think
doesn't
it's-
quite understand it.
I think it's hysterical. Like you're-
What was your computer's role there, Magnum?
17. I mean, if Pythagoras can guide him, he'll try to access the computer system.
I will say that you have transformed, and you have let Pythagoras access it himself.
That will work just as well.
Now you have a vending machine next to the booth.
I'll just turn into a small vending machine.
Self-serving.
But I'll also listen over here, because now I can hear them very well.
What are condoms?
Actually says Scotland Yard on the side.
And as you are as your vending machine mode is over there, some bots come up there and try to buy some stuff from you, but then they realize, oh, you're not actually a vending machine, and they walk away.
Yes, but don't stop.
I'll just drop a few random things from my pockets onto the ground.
Let me get to the perception checks on the other table that you guys are listening in on.
Maccadam is getting a 17.
Sweet spot on fire.
17 with the times 4 range.
Sweet spot's on fire. Sweet spot roll of 20. That would be 26.
You listen in to their conversation, and for the most part, they're talking about the bombing. They mention nothing about Cybertron First, but you do hear kind of snippets about a clinic.
Does this clinic get named in the conversation?
It's called the Lost End Clinic.
Is that one of the ones that Pythagoras could not get into?
Yes, that is actually one of the ones you had missed.
Can you do a sense motive on their demeanor and their voices? Let's see, are they anxious? 10.
You seem almost conversational. You didn't get the sense that they're anxious or waiting for something or anything. Wildstrike and Carapace, were you just listening in? Were you talking? What were you guys doing?
I mean, I'm just thinking about wrestling sharks. I'm trying to listen, but I mean, it's really not my strong point. So I'm waiting for a brawl to happen so I can throw people out, and I know it's not going to happen this time, so it's good.
Can be arranged.
Wildstick was probably just talking unless they clued me in that the terminal was used or anything like that.
Pythagoras will pop out and make sure everyone knows he's going to start
Okay.
working on it. So it'll be everyone will know about that.
Alright, then I'll keep an eye on the terminal too. See if we can find out what they accessed.
Pythagoras, were you going to try activating the terminal or try hacking it to see what they were looking at?
Well, can you just turn it on and see what it's doing right now without trying to break into it? Just check out what was done recently, without just normal use, just through normal use.
Browser history.
Whatever the equivalent is, 18.
Well, if you're just turning it on, then you successfully do that. But I will assume that you are going to use the 18 as a computer's check to try to find out what they were doing. And
Doing some expert use, really, basically. You gotta know how to use the menus and the buttons and features and stuff.
You get 2 pieces of information. One, you get a map. The last thing that was accessed was a map of Iacon, as well as directions to Subtower 6A. It's one of Metroplex's transmission towers. You also find, as you kind of keep on going back, this was a few hours prior to right now, when it looks like someone else was on the terminal, probably earlier in the day. and you find stuck in one of the network caches a message that was accessed. And I will give this to you, and you can examine and read that.
Guys, our life just got a little more complicated.
How so?
I'll read the message. Recipient, Administrator Helios. Target located. He is among a group of bots that was summoned to see Cybertron's council. Extraction may prove difficult. If I have to eliminate more than one of them, my fee will increase appropriately. All payments required in full before delivery. H.
Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lectertron.
Right.
So what?
So,
We have
someone wants to kidnap one of us.
Kidnap one of us?
Probably.
Or kidnap a council member?
Target located is among a group of bots that was summoned to see the Cybertron's council. One of the group that was summoned.
Oh.
We're the only ones I know of that was summoned. May not be us, but it's awful big coincidence.
Okay, well, all we have to do is just stick together and we'll be fine. Wait, where's Rex?
Well, that was easy then.
Damn.
Who is the person that Rex went off with?
H.
Thank you. I'm glad you see where I'm going.
It was depth charge.
Spelled with an H? Silent H?
Heft charge.
What is the date stamp on this message?
It was sent earlier today, like a few hours ago.
It's probably no. It's too recent because he left us over a day ago.
Who are the bots that you were talking to that were here? Do you know the names?
Yes. Tremor and Tiltfire.
No H's. Man, it's like Scrabble.
Who is Administrator Helios?
Make a culture check.
24.
No one on Cybertron has the title Administrator. So you don't know exactly who it is, but from the title, you don't think it's a Cybertronian. You think it is someone off-planet.
May I make a culture check?
Of course.
For Glostronian. 20. That's my third 20. Like, almost in a row. That's, alright, so culture, it's a 26.
You heard a rumor years ago that the official title of the rulers of Scarvix are called administrators. It's the only one that really comes to mind. You're sure that there are probably other places out there that use the title administrator in official capacity, but that's the only one that like pops in your head.
Pythagoras and Maccadam spent some time on Scarvix, but assuming that it wouldn't be something common, because they probably wouldn't know about it just being around. So it's not, maybe have been used there, but it's not used commonly.
Well, I will definitely let the rest of the group know. The rulers of Scarvix used that particular title. Seems to be fitting.
I'll tell them that it's not in common usage, though, because we're not familiar.
No. I definitely had to think about that.
But we spent some time in Scarvix, and that wasn't what they.
Oh, you did?
Is.
How was the weather out there? It was pretty good. Did you rest a lot?
Gritty. Yeah. Interesting.
Do you know
place.
any
Lots
other weather
of
types?
Oh yes, I mean.
Good question.
There's gritty with partly chance of shitty.
Well, I don't know if my coworker knows any other weather. He seems to ignore the sun, but yeah, it's not bad. It's a very fascinating place. Lots of interesting people to talk to. Lots of trade. Lots of things going on. You know, it's a very exciting place to be. This seems a little provincial right now compared to it. Not that I'm against provincial.
So someone's going to try and kidnap us? Is that the gist?
Only one of us.
Yeah, one of us.
But we don't know which one?
No.
We will when it happens.
And they haven't been paid yet. So,
that's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Or they're going to capture them and then turn them over after payment. So, we may be already in danger.
Now, you said you found that message from before my friends were sitting there?
This is for about a couple hours ago.
Okay.
Someone sent it from here to this administrator person.
From here to the
there,
administrator.
yes.
Can we ask Blur who was here a few hours ago? Like, if we can match the timestamp for like who sent the message.
Blur will tell you that it was somebody he didn't recognize. First time person there. He ordered a Probex and then went to sit down, used the data terminal, and then left. I didn't recognize him or anything.
Do you have any surveillance?
They'll get you a kind of like an over-shoulder view. It doesn't show a whole lot. It is a green and brown bot.
You can't see his face.
You cannot see his face, and you do not see any faction symbols on him.
So we can't get footage of him walking in.
It's just like the footage of him like walking in. He kind of walks in behind someone, so he's a little bit hidden. When he's sitting at the table, it's just over the shoulder. You kind of see in the back of his head. When he left, he kind of left among a crowd.
You sneaky bastard.
So he has training.
Anyone who's being paid for their work has got to be good at it.
We're being paid.
No, we're not
Right.
being paid, so we don't have to be good at it.
Oh, that's right.
I get paid a lot, whether I'm good at it or not.
You keep rhyming. Maybe you should be on stage.
I feel like a star already.
Well, just in case, I would like to give a little comm ring out to our friend Rex. Make sure he's okay. If he is, fine, no problem. Give him a little warning.
Okay. He answers, yeah, what do you want? What do you want?
Well, just want to let you know that there seems to be someone who is kind of hunting one of us down. He is a green and brown robot, so stay away from any one of those color combinations, or he has been contacted and contracted to hunt down and kidnap one of us. Non-specific as to which one. Wanted to make sure that you're all right.
Bring it on. Laser, get down from there.
Okay, good to know you're all right. We'll be in contact.
Razor! And it cuts off.
Squaw! Squaw!
If we find out about him punching several green and brown random Transformers,
I'm going to give him a bonus.
Because sooner or later he's going to get the right one.
yeah, I can't fault it.
Logically speaking, he is doing his best.
Brute force is a method I understand.
I'll ask Blur.
The Cybertron First group took credit. You heard. How does anyone know they took credit?
It's all over the infosphere. Haven't you been watching the news at all? It's all the sphere is talking about, over and over and over and over and over again. Let's get something else, bots.
I've been busy.
He'll turn on one of the Iacon news feeds, and like on a loop, there's a report of the Cybertron First organization taking credit for the bombing.
How do they know they took credit? They don't have a public wing. They don't have a spokesman.
The news report indicates that a message was sent to the council that the Cybertron First movement had done it.
Now in the news, don't touch that dial.
When he turns on the news, I want to scan the crowd, see if anyone's doing the nod in agreement.
Perception check.
Yep, that's right. Well, bound to happen. That's a 1.
Oh.
Why does my dice have any other numbers besides 1 in 20?
That sounds like a coin flip to me.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
D2.
Roll a coin.
Clank!
You're really good at this.
Yeah, perception is, or I'm really bad. Equal odds. 6. That's it.
Also.
Notice no one nodding? No one shaking their head?
I know it's one guy. And it's me in the mirror.
It seems like the moment he turned it on, all heads kind of looked at the screen at the same time, so you're trying to see who is nodding, who is shaking their head, and by the time you get to the last person, it was like seconds later.
Probably just want him to turn the game back on.
Turn the race back on.
The race
Yeah,
back on.
and Blur's like, I was actually looking at everybody simultaneously. That's your guy. What? How did you?
I'm thinking of maybe walking over to talk to them. What do you guys think?
Talk to the thing. Yeah, I could do that.
Who's going over to talk to him, Magnum or Pythagoras?
Magnum. He's back in his form. Pythagoras is no good at interrogating people.
Boy, are they in trouble.
All right, Magnum walks over to those 2 red Autobots across the bar. You get over to them. They look up at you.
Pardon me, do you have a light?
One of them takes out like a little device. It's a flashlight. He just kind of shines it at you.
Thank you very much.
I
appreciate it.
Was that good for you? It was great for me.
It's nice to see you guys in here.
Excuse me, do we know you?
Oh, I'm just a fan of the Autobots, that's all.
Huh. I've never come across someone who was just a fan of Autobots before.
Well, I wasn't around when it was time to join up. I always regretted it.
Do you want to sit down and join us for a drink?
Oh, that would be fantastic.
What are you drinking there?
Oh, this is some sort of
Nightmare juice.
non-whiskey nightmare fuel. It's not bad.
You're drinking nightmare fuel? Are your insides still inside?
I may have dropped off a few parts, but I think I'm okay.
I can't believe this is working. This is incredible. You're actually sitting down with them.
I'm sorry to bother you guys. I've just been around the city This whole thing has me stressed out. You never know what's gonna blow up next.
Bombings aren't a typical day-to-day thing over here, are they, Fastlane?
No, definitely not, Cloudraker.
I'm really glad to hear it. I don't know. I mean, what are they trying to say? Is it helping or not? I'm so confused.
Helping with what?
If this Cybertronian First organization is really behind this, I mean, what are they really trying to say with this? Are they going to convert people? I mean, do you think it has any impact politically? This is very different than what I'm used to.
Some people will be moved by it.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a neutral, but I always felt I was an Autobot at heart. I mean, are we really ruining this planet? I mean, is it too many of us? I don't know. I just get worried. I'm sorry. That's why I thought a couple of friendly faces.
No worries at all.
All colonists are welcome. All neutrals are welcome.
Sense motivation off. Way off that.
Yep, as to be expected.
17.
Yeah, you feel that they're telling the truth, and they truly feel that colonists and neutrals are welcome here.
Well, yeah, I guess, I mean, you have a point. I mean, it would be pretty empty here, I suppose, if everyone else left again.
That is very true. It's good to see Iacon teaming with
bots again. During the war, it got
depopulated really quick, and it's really good to see an actual bar, they actually have music again. Do you know how long it's been since we've heard music?
Right.
Do you know how long it's been, Fastlane?
I have no idea. It's been millennia.
That's a really casual way of describing war. It's unfortunate it was depopulated so much, and you're like, oh, God.
Well, it was an evacuation, too. I mean, it wasn't like everyone died, but
partially the war.
Yeah.
They've done this for millions of years. It's old hat to them.
Right.
Yeah, it kind of gets a butt cold.
It's a really good point. It is very good.
Where do you come from, friend?
Oh,
I haven't even introduced myself. I'm Fastlane over here, and this is my brother Cloudraker.
Oh, nice to meet you very much. My name's Maccadam. I'll shake hands with them. You guys are siblings.
As close as siblings can be.
That's fantastic. It's good to see siblings get along. You know, my name's Maccadam. I'm pretty new here. I arrived just before the ceremony, so I'm still getting used to it.
Where are you from, Maccadam?
Oh, I was living on Scarvix. Weird place.
Scarvix, never heard of it.
Yeah, it's just a big trading colony. All sorts of diversity there, all sorts of interesting things.
Is it one of Cybertron's colonies?
No, much farther than that. It's non-affiliated. Well, I mean, if you want something different, you can visit there sometime, but it's quite an adjustment.
My brother and I spent most of the war on Cybertron until the evacuation.
And then we spent the rest of it on the Kimia space station.
Oh, living on a space station. What's that like?
Much like living in a city.
You can make a culture check for Kimia if you want.
19.
It was an Autobot space station in orbit around the planet that recently crashed at the end of the war.
Was it a living space station, or was it just a machine?
It was just a machine.
Did they all get off before it crashed?
No, but it was built well enough that when it crashed, it wasn't destroyed. It essentially just embedded itself in the ground.
It just sort of beached itself on the ground.
Yeah, actually, I believe it's still in Iacon too. You can actually see it kind of off in the distance, I think.
Well, I think you guys have given me some hope about this place. You know, any recommendations, things I should do around here, or places to go? I'm new here, like I said.
Maccadam's is the best place. I mean, there are plenty of other energon holes around the area.
I'd recommend going up to the central viewing platform at Metroplex's main tower.
Great view from there. Unfortunately, most of what's around Iacon is wasteland, but from what I heard, some bots who came back from exploration, there's a rust sea.
Like about a couple of days' journey to the west.
Oh, sounds fascinating.
Cloudraker and I were going to head out maybe in a couple of days and take a look for ourselves.
I hear they're building some more entertainment venues. I heard there was a racetrack being built.
Oh, I have a friend of mine who'll be happy about that. It's really good to hear. It's nice to hear the city is coming to life again. Well, it was great meeting you guys. I'll leave you to your conversation. I'll shake hands with him. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
So I'll go back to my pals here.
How many trackers did you just put on them?
No trackers.
Wait a minute. He's got a puzzled look on his face. I don't think you did. Maybe we should send him with some. You didn't have any?
I think it's unlikely that they're suspects.
Really? You already eliminated them?
No, I never eliminate anyone.
Ah, okay.
But I think it's less likely. But I'm not sure about the Decepticons either.
So are they higher up on the list than us, or lower on the list than us?
How much do you want your feelings hurt?
Oh, come on. I wouldn't have become a politician if I didn't know how to take a few dents and dings.
They seem very positive about neutrals being here. So it seems really unlikely they would agree philosophically. We didn't discuss whether they would, whether they would be part of it or not, but they don't seem compatible philosophically unless they're really, really good at pretending this, which they could be. But I think we should look elsewhere first.
Okay. So did you get any information that we can use from them?
Well, there's a lovely Rust Sea we can go out and visit.
That sounds horrible.
And there's a great watchtower in the middle of the city. We can see the scenery.
That sounds boring.
And then they're going to be building a racetrack soon.
There you go. Yeah. That's what we're talking about.
I figured you'd like that,
All right, so where's that going to be?
I'd have to look into it. Don't worry, it's not. They don't think they built it yet.
Yeah, building, not built.
Always waiting. Always waiting.
I know, don't worry, man. You'll get over it.
Yep, as soon as it's built, I will. That's for sure.
Shall we, investigate the other two? Or go to the clinic?
I think we investigate the other two, go to the clinic, and or reach out to the people that we're working for to be like, hey, do you guys have any known criminal elements called H that go by H? Because that might be or are we afraid that they're part of it? Like, is it...
I don't know.
Are we actually working for the people that are causing this? Which is,
That's always possible.
It's a trope,
Yeah, I don't know. My gut says they're unrelated, but you could be right.
So just go on as status quo?
All we can do is be careful. We don't know where the danger's coming from, so we just have to be cautious.
Two guts, technically. Like Magnum and Pythagoras, right? That's why you're so intuitive.
Oh, yeah. I got plenty of guts, man. Way more than I need. We should probably check to see if these two are employees of the clinic before we go there.
All right.
The Autobots or the Decepticons?
Leave that to you. I can help
the
you out.
Decepticons, we can check the Autobots too. We may as well. So we have names for all four of them now, so we can check them both. We might as well. Could be good actors.
I'll help you out with that.
All right. Pythagoras will pop out and do some more computerization.
I will function as a wall to block prying eyes.
Excellent.
I'll watch. Plus 40 to first roll.
How many rolls do I need to do? So I was thinking once you get access to the employee database, that's...
Okay, just one roll then.
So I got... You said plus 4?
Yep.
32.
Yeah, you find the employee manifest relatively easily. Pretty much you look at the computer and it's like, there it is.
I mean, it might even be public information.
It is not public information. You do actually have to hack into it and to find it.
You know what? We make a pretty good team.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. I
With
appreciate all your help,
skills. With my speed on the tapping,
I know.
You can get a lot done.
We got it covered, man.
Yeah. What else can we do together? I wonder.
Well, I mean,
I'd like to be a part of my pit crew.
I'd like to try this racing thing you keep talking about. It's fascinating.
Oh, it's more than fascinating. It's fast.
He'd fit right in your driver's seat, even if he's not driving.
Be a hell of a ride. How much do you weigh?
200 pounds.
Fastlane and Cloudraker are not on it. Tremor and Tiltfire are not on it. There are only two names on the registry. Cadmium and Regs. R-E-G-S.
There are only 2 employees at this place?
Mm-hmm.
Must be a little teeny place. I wonder if it's real. Pythagoras will do a search to see if this place has a actual physical location, and maybe who owns it and how long it's been around.
So the physical location is public knowledge, and it is at the far western edge of Iacon, right near where the Iacon meets the wastes. So it's essentially along the edges of the wasteland, but in a underdeveloped area.
It's a good place to build illegal explosives. What was on the map?
The map was the location of Subtower 6A, the transmission tower.
So where is that located in particular in the city?
It is going to be northwest of the city center, but far closer to... it is part of like Metroplex itself, so it's going to be far closer to the heart of the city than it is the outskirts.
So I guess it's really... There's no point in us going to check out the obvious bomb-making place until we have the chem analyzer that'll actually verify that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, well, he should be done probably by now.
Like I said, tomorrow.
It is tomorrow.
As far as I know,
We worked overnight to look in the computers.
We worked that long?
Yeah. I mean, is it tomorrow?
Time flies when you're really bored, right?
I mean, we're going to spend all day and all night working on the computer stuff, so I mean...
I'm assuming that you guys are going to rest and recharge before heading back to Wheeljack's lab to get the device is going to make for you.
I had no idea what time it was, that's why. I was thinking it was the morning.
It is late at night now.
You know what would complete this whole ensemble right there? A watch.
I like that idea. Maybe I could talk to people through it.
Don't be a dick. Tracy.
We need to find somewhere to recharge.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yep, sounds like a plan.
We do need to talk about your living arrangements, like where you guys are staying. I imagine, Wildstruck, you have someplace in the city that you're living.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
I imagine Sweet Spot would as well.
I'm staying at the Rostron Consulate.
I mean, I'm used to living in jungle.
Urban jungle?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, are there any parks with organic? No. So yeah, I mean, like I feel like Crocodile Dundee a bit. Like, you know, it's just like, wait, why am I?
Yeah.
You're sleeping on marshmallows. Like, what is this? Do we sleep? God, it's only
Probably just stand there.
You would, most places would have like a recharge slab that you would just lay on, and you would just kind of turn off for a while as you recharged.
I mean, Maccadam would usually hook up to public power, and Pythagoras would sleep inside the building.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They just find an empty lot or a street corner or something like that, you know, that has enough room. So,
Fair enough.
Assuming that's possible, he hasn't been very long, so it
Well,
doesn't.
when you're sleeping in the city, make sure that you lock your doors and orifices.
It's always a good idea.
We'll say that you probably you transformed like outside maybe one of the buildings that Wildstrike or Sweet Spot were living in.
Right.
Just so you were kind of nearby them.
I mean, do Transformers need parking lots?
I do.
They're not. What do you do? Just sit there?
Yeah.
They're conference rooms.
What else would you use a parking lot?
The most popular person in those places, the water machine bot. You know, everyone's always hanging around him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Water cooler bot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Magnum's a little fuzzy on parking lots. He doesn't understand them.
I mean, they're hostels. You just go there and sleep for a little bit. You know?
Like the padding for the tires, just like the Cars movie. You know?
And we'll say that Carapace and Rex have like found a room in an inn, essentially, or like a kind of like a temporary boarding house for colonists. Because I'm sure that a lot of them are popping up now with a lot of colonists and neutrals returning to the planet. So
certainly
there has to be at least some place for at the very least visitors to stay. So they're essentially efficiency rooms where it's a room with a recharge slab and a desk.
Right, and that's pretty. And I don't even know why we need the desk. Like, you know, between the two of us, we'd just be like, I clean my guns on it. You know, I guess.
There's a data pad on there in case you need to send a message.
You gotta go. It's my room now.
Right. Oh. Right. Well, let me put this back together again.
So the next morning, you guys all gather together again, and I'm assuming you're heading to Wheeljack's lab first?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get to Wheeljack's lab.
Knock on the door. Rise and shine, sunshine.
You done? Will Jack, you in there? You done? Can we come in?
He opens the door.
Hey, how's it going?
He's standing in front, so you're just hitting on his head now.
Sorry about that.
That's worth 1,000 words.
Oh, you guys are very early, aren't you?
Well, we're prompt.
Prompt.
Yeah, we're just trying to stop people from being killed by bombs.
That's all.
Yeah, nothing important.
Rather important.
Yeah, I know. I have much more important things to do, but I finished your chem analyzer, though.
I can definitely see we interrupted your beauty sleep.
Because you ugly when you...
He's got one flashing light on and one off.
His mask is off. Like, oh my god! That's why you wear it! You know what? We didn't learn the golden rule. Do not wake Wheeljack up in the morning.
Wheeljack has the chem analyzer all set and ready to go. It is going to take up 2 bulk. So it's a bit of a beefy object.
If I link it,
You can link it if you have enough slots to fit that much.
It would be tech slots.
Tech slots, correct. But yep, he will give you the chem analyzer and will give you a quick little crash course as to how it works, where to put in the information you need, and he said it is already preloaded with the tritinoid.
so this is a generic ranged chem analyzer, then.
Yeah, I was going to say, can we modify it to search for other things? Like if somebody were proficient?
Probably eventually, I would guess.
Because right now there's a sample, like essentially in the system that it's tracking the tritinoid. You would simply have to remove that and put a new sample in and tell it to search for the new sample.
So we could blow this thing up from a distance because there's literally a small piece of explosive inside.
Actually, yeah. So if you ignite it, you could blow it up and it would be
Does it
pretty
actually
good.
have a sample, or does it just have a signature?
Why?
I thought he was going to give us a signature.
Because it's,
He put a small
it's the only
sample
thing
in.
I can do right now.
Because he's a mad
Makeshift
scientist.
grenade.
Yeah. And I don't know how to use grenades because I'm not a soldier.
Well, if we get desperate, we can throw this thing at somebody.
That was kind of the, yeah.
You have your chem analyzer or your chem detector. Where's your next?
All right. You got the thing? How's it work? Where do we go?
All right, we'll transform and turn it on.
There's so much explosives in his lab.
Oh my god!
Your entire screen lights up red as you aim it into his lab. There are a lot of explosives in there.
Titanium explosives? Oh, he has a lot of...
All the residue on the twisted pieces of building and everything, so it's his lab is lighting up pretty well.
Remind me to avoid this quarter of the city from now on.
Yeah, at least you know it works.
So it has about... you said range was about 500 feet, so it should have 2,000 foot range when he's transformed and plugged into Maccadam. That's why I figured we put it on him. So Pythagoras will actually use the equipment and do a scan, basically around, just to give it a go to see if there's anything nearby besides his office.
2,000 feet, and then like from you, so that's a 4,000 foot diameter. So then we can move another 4,000 feet if you don't pick up anything.
Yeah, although that's a bit slow.
Could we bring this to the transmission tower and just blip the whole city at once?
I could try.
That sounds faster than what you're thinking. I'm liking that.
I think we should at least go there and see why it was marked and just investigate. And maybe plug it in.
Which part?
The tower, before we go to the clinic, because there might be more information.
Wait a minute. Maybe you should check out the device, because if Wheeljack is part of this conspiracy theory, maybe he just gave you a bomb to plant there to implicate us. That doesn't seem like something that would be kosher for my political career. So please check that out.
We're having this conversation right in front of him. Hi there.
You calling me a terrorist?
Not yet.
No, we're implying it.
Don't worry, I don't think you're a terrorist.
He presses the button, shuts the door.
He never did invite us in, did he?
No.
He never will again. Sorry. I'm still a fan. Damn you guys.
That whole feeling and inventing thing, keep it up.
Pythagoras is so hurt. He feels sort of like about Wheeljack like you do about Blur.
It's okay. I can still see Blur.
Ouch. Not if he sees you first, though. And he
All
will.
right, that is
Transform back into something a little more modern.
If he doesn't want to see me, he won't.
Off to the tower.
We go.
We might as well use the scan as we move, too. You don't get as much range, but
Yeah, you can
it'll
use it
still
as
work.
it moves. I guess 500 range.
You know, if we happen to get onto the train and we're like, hey, there's a fucking bomb everywhere, and we're like, oh shit, you know.
It's actually not a bad idea. It's to just transform, do the wide radius, and just ride the train around the entire city.
That's actually pretty good.
It's not just an excuse to ride the train around the city because he likes trains. Not at all.
I have a train to catch.
And you may or may not make choo-choo noises.
Is the train sentient?
Are you going to ask?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Are you sentient? We're looking for bombs.
There's a bomb on me?
Well, I was hoping that if you were sentient, you would know. That's frightening that you don't.
In more ways than one.
Yeah.
Oh God! Oh God! And the train starts to break.
Wait, what's the scanner say?
Scanner says there is no bombs in the area.
There are no bombs in the area. Don't worry,
no,
don't worry, Mr. Train.
There's no bombs. Sorry.
He's still breaking.
What do you mean breaking?
Like slowing down.
Oh, break. Okay, breaking.
All right, take it easy.
Calm down.
My name is Sweet Spot. All right, what's your name?
Rail Spike.
Rail Spec. Okay, stay with me now, Rail Spec.
Are you sure there's no bombs?
We have a detector. It's a very strong, very precise detector. It has indicated that there are no bombs in the area. Nothing that will explode and harm you, okay?
Well, it's not any made of that material.
You can only detect one kind of bomb?
No. Don't worry. This is probably at this point, since we're here, you're probably the safest person, very safest bot in the city for when it comes to bombs.
Make a diplomacy check.
Can I aid him on this?
You can aid him. Yep.
And we are asking you, as a public service to Cybertron, to help us out. Yeah, that's not going to go well. 9.
I do not aid another. And I tried.
I think he just tried to convince him by making farty noises with his armpit.
No, I kind of went boom! You know, just like...
Don't worry, it won't explode suddenly!
Boom! That's what it sounds like!
What's your total?
I have 13.
I ate it. Hey.
Yeah.
I ate it.
I know, I'm just counting you.
Oh, and me?
And you.
Okay.
He's the wrong guy to be doing it, but he's just the one who happened to be talking to him.
So, Rail Spike slams his brakes on. I need all of you to make a reflex save.
And I made it. No, maybe I didn't.
I totally did.
Okay, we are going to be looking at a 11.
21.
15.
And Magnum, are you in your vending machine mode?
Yes. Vending machine mode. Pythagoras got a 4. No, he got a 6. I'm sorry. I believe Magnum is below 0.
Right, Magnum is in his building mode, so he's not making any reflex saves.
Well, he gets a reflex save. I mean, he gets really lucky, maybe.
If it's for balance, he's pretty stable, I think.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That hasn't helped me yet, but
How stable are buildings in an earthquake?
I think he's going to end up on the far wall now.
Rail Spike stops. All of you go tumbling to the floor, with the exception of Carapace. Rail Spike starts to transform.
Oh dear.
His inner compartment slides back. All of you start sliding outwards.
Are there any other passengers, or we just did?
It's just you guys.
Got the early train.
And you slide out of Rail Spike as he transforms into his bot mode, attempting to get away from the bomb that he thinks is near him. And we'll see you next time.
Oh, man.
This is not going to end well.
It already ended.
See, that started with such a casual question.
Yeah, you casual.
Record data log 2212-A 42nd cycle 08. Mission report. Codename Empire of Rust. Mission status ongoing. Oversight Commander Game Master Michael Ordway. Squad Commander Magnum, played by Matthew G. Range Combat Specialist Wild Strike, played by Mike M. Melee Combat Specialist Carapace, played by Patrick Finn. Support Melee Combat Specialist Rex, played by Rob Muller. Forward Scout Sweet Spot, played by Adam Achu. Logistics support provided by the Transmissions Network. To support the show, please visit transmissionspodcast.com/rust. Mission success.